Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a challenge that, honestly, almost everyone in the digital age is wrestling with right now. We're talking about how to conquer the incredibly steep learning curves of the modern tech economy. And to figure that out, we're going to be looking directly at the methodology behind the Hive, or HIV3, HAIV3, HEXucation A.i v3 platform, to see exactly how it's done.
Because, let's be real, how do you master things like Web3 or artificial intelligence without getting completely lost in the weeds? The information overload right now is just daunting. We're talking thousands of articles, wildly complex white papers, new tools dropping literally every single day. It's enough to make anyone want to just close their laptop and walk away. But there actually is a structured way through all this noise. Okay, let's dive into this.
Here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. We'll be covering 5 key areas. First, navigating the tech boom. Second, embracing structured learning. Third, cultivating critical thinking. Fourth, collaborative learning and earning. And finally, future-proofing your mindset. Having a clear psychological roadmap like this just proves what the source material preaches about structured learning.
So, jumping right in with Section 1, Navigating the Tech Boom.
Relying on old traditional learning methods, it just won't work when the subjects themselves are rewriting the fundamental rules of the economy. Passive consumption, just reading and trying to memorize facts, inevitably leads to information overload. The source material emphasizes that this simply does not work for complex new tech. To tackle it, we have to shift to active engagement. That means questioning the material, building things, applying principles in real time. Memorizing definitions won't help you in Web3. Actually engaging with mechanics will. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why that shift is so absolutely crucial.
That brings us to Section 2, Embracing Structured Learning.
Look, you wouldn't try to build a house without a blueprint, right? So you definitely shouldn't try to learn advanced AI without one either. This is where HAV3 comes into play. It's a platform that uses AI-powered course creation to build custom, structured learning journeys tailored specifically for the digital economy. Think of it as your own personalized mentor. It takes incredibly complex concepts and perfectly scaffolds them into digestible modules based entirely on your unique goals and your current skill level.
And these structured journeys cover the absolute essentials of the digital economy. We're talking Web3, crypto, artificial intelligence, fintech, marketing, and entrepreneurship. And here's the best part. If you have absolutely zero technical background, do not worry. The methodology is designed so that beginners can master these subjects without any prior tech experience. It meets you exactly where you are.
All right, moving on to Section 3, Cultivating Critical Thinking. Because having a structured roadmap is really only half the battle. Structure alone isn't enough. You've got to actively flex those critical thinking muscles. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the estimated 30% improvement in comprehension. Based on the source material, HAIV3 estimates that learners who actively tailor their journeys and critically evaluate the content improve their retention by a staggering 30% compared to passive consumers. Just by shifting your mindset and engaging with the AI tools to customize your path, you are retaining a third more knowledge. That's huge.
So, what does that active engagement actually look like in practice? Well, there are 3 main steps the HAV3 methodology uses for active learning. Step 1 is to constantly question assumptions. Don't just ask what something is, ask why it exists and how it functions. Step 2, build an experiment. You literally have to get your hands dirty. And step 3 is to troubleshoot and solve problems. When you break things and then figure out how to fix them? That is when the real learning solidifies. A core philosophy from the source material sums this up perfectly. It says, don't just understand what a block is. Critically analyze why decentralization is important, what consensus mechanisms achieve, and the security trade-offs. That hits the nail on the head. If you're learning AI, don't just read about algorithms. Go try to build a simple machine learning model. Exploring Web3? Move beyond the textbook definition and create a basic smart contract or interact with a decentralized app.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, Collaborative Learning and Earning.
The digital economy absolutely doesn't exist in a vacuum. It thrives on collective intelligence, community debate, and shared knowledge. And that brings us to a really fascinating feature called the Content Swarm. This is a Hive3 initiative that allows users to create, share, and actually sell their own educational courses. Why is this so important for learning? Well, because teaching is the ultimate critical thinking exercise. It forces you to articulate your ideas crystal clearly and anticipate the questions your students might have, which totally solidifies your own mastery.
So the crucial point is right here, 50. We can anchor this kind of abstract concept of teaching with a very tangible benefit. By participating in the content swarm, learners can earn 50% or more per course sale. You are literally being financially rewarded for deepening your own understanding and helping other people do the exact same thing. It's a total game changer.
And to help you achieve that, the platform offers Buzz. It's an AI-powered growth tool designed to completely supercharge your content creation and help you reach brand new audiences. Tools like this foster a self-sustaining ecosystem of knowledge exchange. It seamlessly bridges the gap between acquiring new expertise and actually monetizing that expertise.
Which leads us to our final section, Section 5, Future-Proofing Your Mindset. Look, we have to remember that what is considered absolute cutting-edge technology today, it's going to be commonplace tomorrow. Mastering tech requires a continuous adaptation mindset. You have to be willing to unlearn old paradigms, eagerly embrace new information, and constantly refine your understanding as the landscape shifts around you. This is the core philosophy of HIve3. It's not just a one-time class. It's an environment built for lifelong evolution.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one ultimate takeaway. Immerse yourself in a dynamic environment of exploration, practical application, and community. Structured, active learning will always beat passive consumption. If you truly want to master the digital economy, you can't just read about it. You need a structured path, you need to apply it practically, and you need to actually build it.
I want to leave you with this provocative thought to challenge you as we close out today. What outdated learning paradigm are you ready to unlearn today? Are you still trying to just memorize facts? Are you still passively scrolling through articles without building anything? Take a hard look at your habits, drop the passive consumption, and consider jumping into a structured, active learning path to truly master the future. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.